Okay, we're gonna do a little more on systems of equations, right? So let's write that equation for instance. Let's write that system for instance. We got y equals 3x minus 5 and 8x plus y equals negative 16. Okay, in this case you could easily use substitution method because it's already set up for you. Right? So I suggest that when you have the system set up like that, you should use substitution method. Okay, so I'm gonna plug in this. I'm gonna plug in the value of y right here where y is. So I got 8x plus. I need parentheses because I have a plus here. If you had a number next to the y or even a negative sign, then you use parentheses. In this case, there's no need to use parentheses. I'm just gonna go ahead and write down the value of y, 3x minus 5 equals negative 16. Combine the x's, 11x minus 5 equals negative 16. F5, 11x equals negative 11. Divide negative 11 by positive 11 to get negative 1. What do you do with this value of x? I'm going to go ahead and plug it in right here because this is the easiest one. You plug it in here if you want. I mean, yeah, in here if you want, but that's going to take longer. So I'm going to use this one. So I got y equals 3x, but I know now that x is negative 1 minus 5. So it's going to be negative 3x minus 5 negative 8. So I got my system is going to be, the solution to my system is going to be negative 1, negative 8. Okay, so I want to do the same. I want to do the same system, but this time I'm gonna use elimination method. Okay, so if you notice right here, for us to be able to use elimination, I need to line up the x's, the y's, and then a number on the other side. They all have to be lined up. So I'm gonna move the 3x over to the other side. So whenever you move any term from one side to the other, all you have to do is change the sign of the term to the opposite. So I'm gonna have negative 3x plus y. The y didn't cross the equal sign, even though you moved it a little bit. It's still on the left side of the equation. Equals negative 5. And negative 5, it was moved as well, but it remained on the right side of the equation. So that is a correct way to rearrange the terms so you could use elimination. So I'm gonna go ahead and copy the other one the same way it is there. 8x plus y equals negative 16. I need to multiply one of them by negative 1 because I want the y's to be of opposite signs. So I'm going to multiply by negative 1. So you're going to get positive 3x minus y equals 5. So I'm going to be working with this system right here. That's going to cancel out. A plus 3 is 11x. And that gives you negative 16 plus 5 is negative 11. Divide negative 11 by positive 11 is negative 1. And then we just replace this one anyway. Let's plug it in here. Let's do it right here. So I get 8 times negative 1 plus y equals negative 16. Negative 8 plus y equals negative 16. We add 8 to both sides. And I come out with y equals negative 8. So at the end, the answer, the solution to that system is going to be negative 1 and negative 8. I notice how we get the same exact answer. I just done two different ways, but you get the same answer regardless. So I moved it down a little bit so you can see it better. But again, notice how we get the same answer. You could do it either way. You're gonna get the same exact answer. Okay. Okay, guys. The next example I wanted to show you is this one here. When you do when you try to solve systems, not all the time you're gonna see all the terms, you know, arranged the proper way. So like in this case, for instance, I need to rearrange the terms, right? Again, I need to line up the x's and the y's. So I need to, my first step is going to be to do that, to rearrange the terms on every equation. So let's start with the first one here. I got 8x, and then this negative 14y is going to come out to the left side of the equation. All you have to do is change the sign to the opposite. 14y. The 4 stays on the right side. So that is the correct way to rearrange the terms. What about this one here? I'm going to start with the x, but x is on the other side, so I'm going to move it all the way here. All you need to do, since you're crossing the equal sign, is to change the sign of the x to the opposite. The y, you moved it over, but you didn't cross the equal sign, so it remains positive. And then the negative thing goes to the other side as a positive 10. So that's going to be my first step. That's going to be my first step. So this is the system I'm going to be working with. And for this one, you cannot use substitution method because none of the terms have a positive 1 coefficient. I mean, you could do substitution, but it would be so much harder because then you're gonna be dealing with fractions everywhere. So that makes it more complicated. But anyway, so and then another thing I noticed that some of you are just for instance, multiplying this one by 7 and this one by negative 14 or something like that. You don't need to. Always try to do it the easiest way. To get this one, to make this 7 a number that you're gonna be able to cancel it with this one here, right? All you have to do is multiply by negative 2. 7 times negative 2 is negative 14, so that's it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to multiply this one by 7 and this one by 14. All it takes is for you to multiply the bottom one by negative 2, and that's going to do it. Okay, so you're going to get negative 12x, negative 12x minus 14y equals negative 20. That's it. Let me bring this one down here. Okay, the top equation, I'm going to bring it down just to have them together. At this point, I'm ready to add the two equations, because now I know that the y's are going to cancel out, at least momentarily. And then negative 12x plus 8x is negative 4x, and that's going to be equal to negative 20 plus 4 is negative 16. Divide negative 16 by negative 4, you're going to get positive 4. Positive 4. Now I'm going to try to get the value of y. So let's try to plug the x that I got right here. So I'm going to have 6 times 4 plus 7y equals 10. 24 plus 7y equals 10. Subtract 24 from both sides. 7y equals negative 14. We divide by 7 each side. Y equals negative 2. And that is going to be the solution to my system, 4 and negative 2. Okay we got just 3 examples. I think that's all we need for now.